Second. Hey, you guys. Hey. Welcome. Oh, look at my hair sticking up a little bit. Welcome to my channel. So first off, we both look so tired because we are. Sean just woke up. He took like a hour nap, and I've been going since really early this morning. But that's okay because I was like, let me tell you guys. This morning when I was up, I just knew. I was like, okay, I think it's about time for another Chrisley Confessions podcast. And we know the last two podcasts, he has blew Katie Joy's hair all the way back, clean off her head, right? So I'm like, your arm is making so much noise. I don't know if it's going to interfere with me talking. I don't mean to be rude, babe. But it was like, shh, shh, shh. Did you guys hear that? Maybe not. Maybe it's just because it was like right in my ear that I heard it. There was a blanket over there. Go get a hoodie, right? So this morning when I'm getting ready, I'm like, first things first is I wanted to check out Chrisley Confessions podcast because the last two, he has been talking about Katie Joy and he has been talking about how he's going to file a lawsuit on her. And I was just like, we've been looking, right? So people's been looking for this lawsuit. Where is it? Why has it been filed? Is it going to be filed on a state level, on a federal level?
Can you scoot over on the
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sean sat down like right as we were going live, so we really didn't have time to like get centered or anything. So people have been tagging him on Twitter, like, hey, make sure you file in Minnesota. So first things first, this morning when I got up, as I was getting ready, I jumped on to listen to their podcast. And sure enough, about 17 minutes in, he went off.
Oh, crap.
First things first, that's mine. Second thing, you just showered me with that.
Showered me too.
Oh my goodness.
Why did you bring a shook up Red Bull over here for me?
I didn't. For you, my butt. So yes, I've been having people look for it too. I've called like her, and I know this is going to be turned into a thing, but I called to her local clerk of court to see if it had been filed. Here's the thing, guys. This is a disclaimer, okay? I have covered Todd Chrisley in the past. When he was indicted, when he turned himself in, I have videos of all of that, right? I spoke about that when Todd Chrisley and his family wanted to go to the Cayman Islands, and they had to get approval from the judge, and the judge declined it. I covered that.
That was one of the first shows you were covering.
No, Teen Mom.
Well, I know Teen Mom was, but it's
Jersey Shore. It was like the fifth.
Okay.
It wasn't. Right, it was later on. It was later on. I started covering Todd Chrisley when they were getting
one of the first ones we started watching together.
We started watching the show way back. We started watching the Chrisleys probably back when they first began.
Yeah.
Do you hear Eli back there?
I think that was Caden.
No, that was Eli. Back when they first began, we started watching them, but I did not start covering them until later on. Okay. So I've noticed that since Katie has started talking about me again, like on her Twitter and on her channel, that I've gotten a lot of comments calling me a Karen, saying that I'm a bully. I need to leave her alone. I'm harassing her.
Really?
Yes. If I'm not blocking them or deleting them or anything. I'm leaving them there. You know, there's this one girl though, and I'm not going to call her name out. She knows who she is. She watches Katie and she likes Katie, but she also watches me, and she'll say like, I like your other content, but she'll leave me a comment, you know, on my videos where I do cover Katie. She'll leave me a comment, which helps me as far as, you know, the comments go, because the more comments you have, the better it is for you. So she'll leave me a comment and be like, hey girl, just let you know I like you. I also like Katie.
Which is fine.
I'm going to catch your next video. And I'm like, thank you. Absolutely. Like, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that she can still watch my videos where I'm not talking about Katie. And it's not a thing where she's coming and she's leaving me these nasty comments. Okay. So here's the thing. I have covered Todd before. I covered Todd way before there was this lawsuit. When it comes to Katie, anyone that's watching this and they're going to leave me a comment saying that I'm rude or nasty or ugly and I'm a part of this this anti-KJ community, I'm a part of the Elle Bee community, okay? I'm not a part of this anti-KJ community. Am I anti-KJ? I just don't like her because of the things that she's done. Done, whatever. I don't like her because of the things that she's specifically done to me. I don't like her because, did we make amends plenty of times? We apologized. We tried to move forward, but she just kept doing the same things. If it wasn't to me, it was to other people. And a lot of times she was doing the same stuff to me, just behind the scenes. She was talking bad about me behind the scenes. People didn't know. And I'm not really the type where I can sit on here and pretend to be friends with another creator when I know what's going on.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Not only that, even when y'all were friends, it was always like, okay, I don't know, it was such a weird thing because it was like you would cover a story, she would cover a story, and like the stories didn't really match up. You know what I'm saying? But y'all are supposedly friends and both of y'all are getting along. But then this one version of this story gets put out that's like embellished, and then if you didn't put it out first, well, then you were in a position like, wow, I'm fixing to put a story out. And I know a lot of people who watch me watch Katie, and now I'm going to say XYZ, but Katie said A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, all the way, 26 things.
Well, that happened before.
Yeah, that happened.
That would happen, and people would. That would happen. That would happen, and I literally had screenshots sent to me where people would say, "Well, I was just watching Elle Bee, and she said X, Y, Z. So does she not have correct information?"
Yeah.
So that was always aggravating.
People were always like, "Well, Katie said this" in your comments.
Yeah, or like, Katie said this.
Yeah. So then you're like in this position, or she would put a story out and you would feel weird about like covering after that because the way she acted.
Well, there was times she told me not to cover stuff. Yeah, there was times she told me not to talk about certain things.
You couldn't. Yeah.
Brenda said, "What is Elle Bee community?" My community, just Elle Bee, because my name is Elle Bee. My initials are Elle Bee, like you have typed. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not a part of any anti-KJ community. I'm not a bad person, and there isn't one person on the face of this planet that I hate. I dislike a few people, but there's not one person that I think deserves to be deplatformed other than Katie Joy. And that's because time after she hurts people time after time again. Like when people ask her to stop, she does it. And then when people file a lawsuit against her, then it's, oh, poor, pitiful me. People have tried to tell her, you're doing this wrong. Like, you shouldn't do this. You're going about this the wrong way. And you know what she'll tell you? Shut up. I don't need any help. Leave me alone. Block. So that's why here's the thing. When Katie went on this, year-long bashing me, her and Unirock, when they done that for so long, when I was not really doing anything, I didn't really defend myself. I just left them. She told blatant lies about me that I didn't immediately jump up and say, that's not true. That's not true. I just didn't even say anything at all until I got to the point where I said, now is the time where I set this straight. Now is the time where I'm going to show all the evidence that what she said was not accurate. And that's what I done. For
one thing, there was a time to where she was waiting on her charges to be dropped.
And I couldn't really talk about some stuff.
Yeah. So, she had a lawyer and everything, but she was waiting to either go to court and fight her charges, which was something Katie had talked about, or she had to wait. We didn't know that the charges were going to be dropped. Like,
right. We thought we were going to have to fight them.
Yeah. So, but because she went to the VA, the DA in our town, and basically made them review the evidence and stuff that they had. That's what made them drop the charges. Honestly, we probably didn't even need a lawyer for that part because you did most of it by going up there and just and just being persistent and telling them like, no, this is not right. Like I didn't, this is not right. And then when they review the evidence and they realize that it was done by a police officer that was fired like not very long after, the arrest happened or whatever for other stuff, then they reviewed the evidence and they dropped the charges. But it was a time period that she couldn't really talk about a lot of it, because we had gotten a lawyer and it was it was a pending, you're just not supposed to. But there was that, and then there was a lot going on. So I mean there was a lot of other stuff going on. So I mean that's the reason why she didn't come back. And then on top of it, she was
no, well, that's not just the reason. Like the reason when she put out our financials, I just didn't for a while I had so much going on and I didn't want to get in a back and forth with Katie. So I never really wanted to be in a back and forth with Katie because this is the way that I feel. My content is what makes my channel, like my regular content, not Katie. Like Katie likes to say, oh, Elle Bee, and she calls me by my real name, and she knows that she shouldn't. She knows that I've asked everyone not to. She does it on purpose, but she likes to say, oh, she's making money off my name. Let me tell you something. I could have went so hard back in the day when she was on IG every night. I could have just jumped on YouTube and we could have had this back and forth. There's been other people that I could have gotten these back and forths with, and it would have brought in a crowd. People love to see drama. They want to watch, oh, Katie's saying something. Let's go watch her and see what she's got to say. Oh, now Elle Bee's she's got a rebuttal. Let's go see so yes, it'll bring in the views, but I've never needed that to carry my channel because my channel has actual content. So I've never needed that. So here's the thing. The very first time that she attacked me, I did not know Katie other than she was just a creator that covered a lot of the same topics. And there were times where I would say, Grace Report, Without a Crystal Ball, Yasmin Whitland, they had videos up of this as well. Go check them out. But I didn't know her. I never spoke to her. I'd only seen some of her videos up in my timeline, stuff like that. But I tried to promote her. She had just a few more subs than me. But I was like, because I like to support other people. I like to say, I did that. I would be like, go check them out, because I want to see other people succeed, and so this is one of the issues with Katie that she does not understand. Okay, when she decided she had this issue with my video, she did not know me from Adam. Rather than saying, I'm not going to speak about it, or rather saying, I just didn't like it. I just found it to be in a little bit of bad taste. I just disagreed with it. She went on this tangent and cursed me like to a gnat wouldn't lie on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was ridiculous. I'd never in my life come across someone that would speak to me that way. They didn't even know me, So after that, I waited 2 days before I went on my channel and I talked about it. I had people messaging me. What are you going to do? Are you going to say anything? Did you see that Katie said this? From the time it happened to the time that I went live, people were commenting to me, emailing me, messaging me about this. You know what I'm saying? And I waited 2 whole days because I didn't want to get on my channel and be upset about it. I just wanted to just bring the facts and say this was not right. So that's what I did. And yes, the video ended up being 3 hours, but it was not a bashing session at all. It was not a bashing session. It was just, this is what happened. Here's the clip of Katie doing this. If you guys want to go see it, to give some people some context of what I was responding to. And these are the lies that she told on that video. So me and Katie have a lot of history. I feel like Katie does a lot of things wrong. And that's why people dislike her. And she just can't take a step back and say, okay, that was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Thank you guys for telling me. Because anyone that tries to tell her, you get blocked. You get yelled at and then blocked or something like that. So when Katie thinks she has this whole anti-KJ community that's just built from what? From who? From me? I don't encourage people not to like you. For the longest, I didn't talk about you.
Yeah, she tried to say that here recently.
She tried to say it recently that I had something to do with it.
Yeah.
I've always said, if you want to watch Katie, go watch Katie. Who is more powerful, Tati or Todd Chrisley? Todd Chrisley is more ruthless. I don't know who's more powerful. Probably Todd Chrisley may have more money. He may have more connections. I really don't know, but he is ruthless.
I think his lawyers are more powerful.
Probably so.
The lawyers he's got are more powerful than anything. I mean, but and he's ruthless enough to where we're gonna listen to it. He's gonna make it happen. But I mean, it might not. I don't know what's gonna happen from it, but I know he's gonna take it to the extreme. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit. I mean, the thing is, everybody knew this was coming. Everybody knew it was coming, and then it went down with Toddy Westbrook, and now it's going down with somebody else. And you give it enough time, if she continues, it's going to go down with somebody else. Because, I don't know, for anybody to be in denial, and it just, like, I saw a clip the other day of, like, Todd and Katie, they were talking, and, like, it kind of made, like, where she was saying that you were like behind everything or like behind this or whatever. And first off, Todd kind of laughed, I guess, because you said
I said
done.
Well, actually, she was reading messages between us, and what I would like for her to do is I would like for her to show those messages, because in that clear. So Katie said that I said that I had people in my ear. Actually, Katie said, so back when all this took place, when we started messaging, I had two friends that was encouraging me to just make amends with Katie. And for a while, I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You guys must have forgotten all the stuff that she's done to me. I'm not doing it. But after a while, my two friends was like, no, just do it. I was like, okay. Because they had been kind of communicating with Katie, and they was like, y'all need to make amends. So finally, I was like, okay. So when we did talk to each other, that was what Katie told me. Katie said, your friend, and one of those friends, and I have the messages, she said, your friend said you still have negative people in your ear that you're still listening to. It wasn't me that said I had negative people in my ear. Actually, the people that was in my ear was actually telling me to make amends with Katie. You know what I'm saying? So Katie read some of our messages, and actually it made her sound worse from what I can, because I remember thinking, really, Katie, you just told off on yourself. But in the messages she was reading, and I said, I done, or something like that. And Todd laughed and was like, I done.
All right,
like, dude.
Let me tell you something. Like, when that aggravated the crap out of me, like, for him to like snicker and like say, I'm doing it, or I did, or whatever. I don't know what he said.
He just laughed at the way that
like, dude, at least my wife ain't getting our asses sued every other month. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to like snicker at my wife when your wife is bringing holy hell down on your family every other month? And for you to be in denial, I don't know if he has like Stockholm syndrome or something, like, but for him to be in denial at this point that something is wrong. I mean, this is their like third lawsuit. Okay. Second big lawsuit here recently. I mean, third altogether.
Yeah, because Jillian Epperly tried to sue her as well.
She has problems. She has problems with everybody she comes in contact with.
Why is that? You know, I'm going to interrupt you right here, and I'm really sorry.
You always do.
You know, I'm so sorry. For her followers, you have to sit back and wonder, why is she getting so much hate? Is this literally just one group of people that hate her all for this same reason? Are we just these mindless creatures that is just going, you know, following the leader, and we don't have a mind of our own to think and pay attention? No, there is a Reddit group with over 8,000 people that dislike Katie. You won't find one YouTuber that knows her that would collab with her and that likes her. And that's an issue. You know, I got people that don't like me. I have other YouTubers out there that don't like me. It is what it is. It comes with the territory. 2 or 3, that's understandable. Nobody's perfect. But to have everybody on the internet that knows you say, no, I don't want nothing to do with her, that's an issue. And her people need to understand that. And her husband needs to understand that. Now, I want to say this really quick. This is our opinion. Everything that we are stating is our opinion. We are not stating anything as facts. This video is not intended to harass, bully, or defame anyone. We are not trying to defame anyone. I don't want to get caught up in a lawsuit, but if somebody tries to sue me, we'll go round and round. We will dance. Because Katie likes to say that she could sue me. Well, Katie, you're the first one that started it. And the very first video you ever done about me was defamatory. Okay? But the very first time you ever uttered my name, you were defaming me. Okay? A disgusting human being with predatory behaviors, that's defamation. Everything that you said in that video about my video was incorrect. So you could either say it was they were lies, and it was done maliciously, or you could say it was an accident. But when you play the video of you talking about my finances and you giving out the wrong information in regards to my finances, it's hard to lie about that because you said you had the documents, right? So that was malicious. When you purposely blasted my arrest, that was malicious. When you said on your channel and you said I had a problem with drugs because I do streams late at night, that was malicious. When you talked about the fact that I needed to be worried about CPS coming to my house, malicious. So go ahead. All I've ever stated is my opinion, and I've done rebuttals to the things that you've said about me, and I've talked about things like your lawsuits. Yes, I talked about the Tati Westbrook lawsuit. Yes, I did. I'm talking about this lawsuit. Yes, I am. But you're a public figure, so you've opened yourself up to that. Now, I want to get into letting everybody listen to it, and then we'll talk about it. Do you have anything else you want to say before we play it? Okay. Really quick. Yeah, she also said I was a fraud. Exactly. She said that I was a fraud. She said I held 2 fraudulent fundraisers. Mind you, I've never held not one fundraiser. Ever. Well, I'm lying. That's a lie. I do fundraisers for my kids because my daughter is in dance line and my son Caden is on the football team.
School fundraisers.
School fundraisers that can be proven. The other 2 things that were done was a super chat drive that literally didn't even have a name. It was literally like, we went live and say, this is how it went. Hey guys, we're live. Hey Sean, all the money that we make tonight on this stream, I'm going to give it to you. All the money that is sent in super chat drive, the super chats, all the money that we get in super chats, I'm going to give it to you. Okay. Just to help you out financially. Okay.
That's how it was done.
That's literally how it was done. There was no drive. It wasn't like it was posted all over YouTube. Hey, super chat drive for Elle Bee. Come help her out.
And honestly, if he would have said beforehand, I probably would have been like, no, man, we'll be all right.
I mean, I even said when he said that, I said, are you sure you don't have to do that? And he was like, no, I want to help. Okay, fine, whatever.
I mean, it was cool. You know,
I appreciated it. I appreciated it.
Our kids had a better Christmas because of it.
I mean, yeah. Were they going to have a Christmas had we not had it? Yeah. Absolutely. I always see to it that my kids have a Christmas, no matter if we're struggling or if we're not. Now, the second thing that Katie literally said that she was informed by my ex-moderators that I held a fraudulent fundraiser for a football jersey drive and that my kids don't even play football. Well, the moderators that told her that knew darn well that my boys played football because they had gotten pictures of it. They had gotten videos of them practicing.
Because they were close friends.
And they were close friends with me. And they got
mad. What's ironic about the whole thing is the whole reason why you and them had a falling out was because they didn't want you to make amends with Katie.
Right. I don't want to talk about them too much, but yeah, that's the reason I don't want you to go into because that'll bring more problems for me. But the moderators that done this, they were my moderators. We were great friends. There were plenty of times I was chatting with them and I would be sending audios and I would be at football practice. They knew my kids played football and they knew that the president of the league stole all the money because they were my moderators when this happened.
But they didn't steal no money from like a fundraiser. They had nothing to do with it.
No, it wasn't a fundraiser. It was just literally, Sean went to the practice that night because they said a parent has to come. They're having a meeting. So Sean went to the practice that night, and the coaches told them, listen, our president, I'm not going to say her name, but whatever, she stole all the money. Things weren't being paid. We got some calls from people that we owe money to. We started checking into things. All of the money had been spent pretty much. I mean, $9,000 or something crazy like that. It was a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't just money for that season. It wasn't money like built up in that league.
It was all the money they had in that account for the entire league.
Everybody had donated all the money that hadn't been spent. And the thing about where we live is like it's a small town, but it's a big football town. Like a lot of people donate money to the football team and the leagues and stuff. And it's pretty big. It's a pretty big thing. So
Sean was there and they told him, listen, we literally had games coming up in like 2 weeks, but we had no uniforms. We had ordered uniforms, but we couldn't pay for them because all of our money was gone, right? Mind you, I had done paid $150 for my Caden to play and $150 for Eli to play, right? And that was supposed to cover the cost of their uniforms. No. So then we had to go buy them a black pants and a jersey. And then that night, Sean come home. He told me I was working that night. Later that night, I went on a live stream and I tell you guys everything. Something happens in my life crazy. I tell y'all pretty much. So that night on my live stream, I talked about it. I was like, you guys are not going to believe this. Like the president of our football team stole all of our money. We have games in like 2 weeks. And like our kids don't have jerseys. Like it's just the lady has ran off. The cops can't find her. So there was someone in the chat that said, if we donate to your PayPal, can you send it? Can you, I said, absolutely. And I did. And I actually did it before no, it wasn't even donated to my PayPal. I think it was to Super Chats. They said, if we send you Super Chats, I think maybe it was mixed. I don't remember. I said, yeah, absolutely. The money that I got in Super Chats, some was held out for YouTube, but I paid everything the next practice. I wrote a check out for it. It was just like the very next practice, I wrote a check out. They got it. I didn't keep it. Okay. And we bought 2 extra pair of pants to help the team out. Like we bought our 2 kids their stuff and we bought 2 extra pair of black pants to help the team out. So Katie, if you want to talk about lying on someone and making, defamatory statements, well, you saying I help fraudulent fundraisers that's a defaming statement. I never have. So, I'm not sitting here trying to go back and forth with Katie, but this situation with Todd, I'm going to talk about it. It's interesting. If Todd was suing anybody else, guess what? I'd probably be talking about it. If Todd Chrisley was suing, so I don't know, anybody, I'd probably be talking about it. It just so happens it's you, Katie. So I'm talking about it. I'm sorry. I'm going to try, I'm going to try to stay within the realms of, not saying anything illegal, and I'll try to just do my little job here and talk about what's going on. But we're going to listen to Todd Chrisley and what he said on his podcast that was released this morning. If you have little ears that are still up and they're around you, there's cursing in this. He drops the big old F-bomb, so beware, you guys. And I got to go find it again. Let me see. I think this is it.
The uneducated blogger that we have to show that they have committed perjury. So for that, I'm very grateful. Now let's move on to Katie Joy, who is this wannabe uneducated blogger, who is, I've now understood, has been sued multiple times. And she has posted on her, I guess, social media channel or Twitter or whatever, that she is best friends with my daughter, Lindsay, and that she has spoken with Lindsay, and they've had this great relationship. Well, it's ironic that Katie Joy is the one who was writing all of these lies about the Chrisley family. And now she goes on her page or whatever this little thing is that she has, I think with 5,000 or 6,000 followers, whatever it is. And she goes on there and she talks about that she's basically best friends with Lindsay. And so now we're subpoenaing these phone records so that we can match up the phone numbers and the timing of the stories that were released to her so-called interactions with Lindsay. Now, folks, at the end of the day, the truth, we already know what it is because we're sitting on the messages that we have that have been screenshotted. And Katie, you know about these messages. You know about these messages, Katie. Katie Joy, You know about the messages because you provided these messages to multiple people. So my advice would be that if you're claiming to be Lindsay's best friend and Lindsay's not responding to your statements of you being her best friend, then that means Lindsay's probably aware of the context of the messages that we have that were between the two of you and the conversations that you've had. But regardless, you're going to get your opportunity because we are filing suit against Katie Joy. Now, I want to clear up what I'm seeing on Twitter. A lot of people are saying I don't see it filed in the state where Katie Joy resides because that's where Katie Joy made these slanderous statements. We are fully aware of how this lawsuit needs to be filed, and it is going to be filed correctly. We sent out a spoliation notice to Katie Joy. Her attorney has already responded stating that his client would like to cooperate to the best of her ability and would be saving all communications and would not be destroying anything and any channels that she has closed down. She still has access to the content and that they would be more than willing to try to work this out with us. The only way this is going to be worked out, Katie Joy, is you are going to do a retraction of the lies that you have told. You're going to identify your source of the lies that you've told. And once you do that, because here's the thing, folks, the law firm that we have, these are not drop shots. These are not people charging you $59 for you to give them to give you 15 minutes of their time. Katie Joy didn't have anything worth us going after. There is no money there. There are no assets. So when Katie Joy talks about he's not going to come for me, understand this, Katie Joy. First of all, you're a psycho narcissist. I'm coming for you, darling. That one thing's for certain and two things are for sure. You can fucking count on Todd Chrisley for coming for you. And I'm coming for you. So your attorney has responded to our attorney. We're now waiting on his response. I don't know if you hadn't paid him or whatever, because he's ignored the last two emails that Jonathan DeLuca has sent to him. So with that being said, I'm going to post all of these things that these lies that Katie Joy has, because I've got a team that's pulling together all of these videos that we had downloaded long before Katie started archiving videos. Now, you know, Katie's been going on her channel and cleaning things up. Does you know, good to spring clean, darling, in the wintertime. We already had copied all of your videos.
Of course.
We already had them, but I am grateful to the Twitter world and the Instagram world because there is such a loathing for Katie Joy that they have made copies of these things and have bombarded our attorneys and us as well with this information. Now, I didn't know that Katie Joy's husband was named Todd and that he's a frustrated former, some kind of band player or something. I guess it didn't work out for him or there'd be assets to collect them. But regardless of that, I received notification of that, and I want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly since everyone is in the sue phase these days. Let's see here. Making sure I get this right. Let me put my focals on so I can see who I'm talking to. So I received this notice the other day that tells me about Katie Joy's husband. And and it's titled, Without a Crystal Ball, Canis Dearest, Katie Joy. And it says, Katie Joy Paulson proudly shares her husband's newly released homemade music video containing footage of neo-Nazi symbolism. Now, folks, this is who you're dealing with. This is who we've been dealing with. And yet she wants to get on her channel and cry. She wants to say she's being stalked and harassed. This woman has created notoriety in her own mind. Nobody gives a shit about Katie Joy Paulson. No one cares about this woman. This woman is a non-entity. She's non-existing. She only exists in the realm of the 47,000 followers that she has on Instagram. That when I start posting my stuff, let's watch the numbers decline. when I tag all of her followers in these so that they know what this woman has done to so many people, lying, trying to monetize her social media so she can get paid for the lies that she tells. And that's what I plan on doing. We're going to be tagging her followers so that they know this is the kind of person that she's following or that they're following. Now, this is an article that was sent to me that says that this homemade music video containing footage of neo-Nazi symbolism to her 114,000 subscribers. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not following neo-Nazis. I'm not following racists. If I am, I'm not aware of it. And if I am following someone and I'm not aware of it, that means they don't have the balls to stand up for what they claim that they are. So I wanted to clear up because Katie wants to go around and act like she's got balls of steel. She wants to go on her social media and she wants to say, he's not going to sue me. You are being sued. Dare me. This is not a game of chicken. I don't have to sit out here and threaten you. It's coming. You've already been given notice of it. You've already gone on your little whatever channel it is that you have, and you've already said you're willing to cooperate. You haven't cooperated yet because my attorneys would not be waiting on your attorney to respond if that were the case. So we will file the lawsuit. She will then incur the cost because we are going for discovery. We are going to subpoena her phone records, her husband's phone records. We are going to get all the phone numbers from that phone record and compare to the phone records that we already have. And we're going to close the loop on these co-conspirators that tried to take the Chrisley name down.
From LL and
That ain't it.
BRANCH.com promo.
Because I'm bored today. Where Kate. Now understand. Yes, there was family participation with Katie Joy. She's already acknowledged that. I've got it in text messages. I've got it where Katie Joy talks about that she and Lindsay discussed my sexuality and that Lindsay would not. Let me just read it to you. I'll go ahead and read it because, shits and giggles. I just figured I would. Because I'm bored today and I want to make sure that I say everything correctly. Okay, so here it is. On 6/10/2020, Lindsay refuses to discuss the rumors of her dad's sexuality. She gets really pissed about it. I've never ever heard her be supportive of the LGBTQ. Now, this is what Katie Joy Paulson is saying about Lindsay, that she's not supportive of the LGBTQ. Folks, does that sound like a best friend? And this individual comes back and says, wow, don't know much about that. I just believe Lindsay is out of her place. I get the impression that Lindsay is decent, but defending Kaylin makes her appear with blind, stupid, or in her likeness. Katie Joy responds, she's a nice person, but I don't know. She just pops off easy. She gets mad if I criticize Kale, and I'm like, this is my job. I think today she's pissed because this could sink their podcast. Now, that doesn't sound like she's best friends with Lindsay.
Right.
Katie, I don't want you as a best friend. The world doesn't want you as a best friend because best friends don't speak about.
So yeah, I want to point that out. And this, look, this is like all just discussed aside when it comes to like the type of person that Katie is. I try to be her friend. I can be friends with anyone. I mean, you ask the people that know me, I go in Walmart. I talk to the clerk that checks me out. Anywhere I go, I'm talking to people. I can be friends with anyone. And I really did try. Like, I absolutely tried to talk to Katie, but there was no, like, on her side, there was no friendship. it was only like, so we would talk on the phone about something, and it would be something like concerning like something to do with Teen Mom, and I would say something about like what I thought about something, and then she would be on stream that night saying, you know, Elle Bee said this. She thinks this. And I'd be like, I didn't mean for her to say that. Like, I didn't know she was going to go on a stream and say that. Like, that was just between me and her. Like, you know, just chit-chatting. That's what would happen. So and that, I think that's why she has a problem keeping friends. I mean, okay, so look at the situation with, Clark Swanson, right? Let's bring it back to Clark Swanson. Clark Swanson, approaches Katie because Katie has covered Tati and has not, didn't like Tati. She's put out videos and stuff about Tati where it was obvious that she didn't like Tati. So when Clark Swanson was about to sue Tati Westbrook, he's looking, I need someone that can put this out, that can start leaking this information out. I can't put it out. I need someone, right? So he finds Katie Joy. He goes to Katie Joy. Thank you so much, Desiree, for becoming a member. Thank you, Pinky. And thank you so much to the super chats that I got. You guys, thank you so much. I appreciate those so much. You have no idea. I swear, I had a almost panic attack buying school clothes the other day. I'm like, oh my God, this is so expensive. So thank you so much. But anyways, Clark Swanson. So he's going to file this lawsuit against Tati and James and, you know, the Halo Beauty. He can't, what?
That last one.
Oh, yeah. While Katie, she's a YouTuber. She has a pretty big following at this point. I think she's crossed the 100,000 mark of being on YouTube. So she has a decent audience, right? So what does he do? He reaches out to Katie. Katie thinks she has struck gold. Mind you, before Katie become friends with Clark Swanson, what was she doing? She was bashing him. That's right. Katie bashed Clark Swanson back in the day when she first started covering Tati. When she first started covering, well, not Tati, but when Tati's vitamins came out, she was doing videos about the vitamins. And she was talking about the other business partner. So she's like, Tati has this business partner named Clark Swanson. He claims to go to, I don't know, this like very pristine college or something, but really he didn't. So she literally said that he was like an idiot. And then when Clark Swanson reaches out to her and they start talking and she starts covering Tati again in this whole lawsuit, she's praising him about how smart he is and how he went to Harvard. Or it wasn't Harvard, it was somewhere else. But before, she's like, he really didn't go there. They don't even, what he said he went in, they don't even have that there. But then when she's praising him again, she brings up the fact that he went to such a great college. Only the smartest people go there, and Clark Swanson went, you know. So that's kind of how it is for Katie. Like, if she don't like you, you're the dirtiest person in the world. Oh, you went to college here? No, you didn't. They don't even have that. But then the second she likes you, you're great, you're grand. Okay, so Clark Swanson, they start talking. He's leaking all this information, and she starts off. I remember someone posting this on Twitter, I guess it was. So she goes on, no, it was on Instagram. She goes on Instagram. I got a big secret. This is huge. This is big. There's this YouTuber who's about to be served with this lawsuit. This is going to be huge. It's by their business partner. I can't say anything yet, but it's going to be huge. This was because Clark Swanson was giving her this information. Now, when it was filed, she started talking about it. And the issue is, the issue isn't that she talked about the lawsuit. You can talk about the lawsuit. The issue was she took everything that Clark Swanson put into his lawsuit and the things that he was alleging, and she stated those as facts. So, this is what happened.
The issue also was stuff way before that.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That she said about Toddy and her husband.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That's fact. She and it was stuff that nobody could have possibly known that she was putting out. Like he pulled the plug on his mother, right? For money. Who knows why that dude had to pull the plug on? I doubt it was for money. I mean, if she's in that bad of shape, why do you have to pull the plug on somebody for money?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense.
But that's what she put out, and that's so yeah, you're right. I was actually going to say that as well. That was one of the issues. No. Her saying that he pulled a plug on his mom was during all of that.
Okay.
So yeah, that was one of the things. Like you said, it was stuff that she wouldn't have known,
and all kind of stuff way before.
No, but she didn't say the stuff about James's mom until this lawsuit came out, I do believe. And she brought up the fact that James's sister filed a lawsuit against him. And she painted it as James was this outsider in his family and he didn't really talk to his family. And then when his mom was about to pass away, he shows up at the hospital and gets his mom to sign everything over to him while his mom's not in the right state of mind. And then when his mom signs everything over to him, he pulls the plug and she dies. And then after she dies and the sister finds out that James had everything signed over to him, the sister sues him. So it made James Westbrook look like a terrible person. I saw a lot of comments where people said that when they heard that story, they stopped supporting Tati because they thought that was terrible. Now, where did she get this information from? Who would have known this kind of information that James Westbrook was the one that had to make the decision to pull the plug on his mom?
And he did it out of,
I think this is what I think happened with that. I think because Tati's and James's business partner, Clark Swanson, was friends with James for years. They were friends, real life friends for years, and they decided to go into business together. So this man knew a lot of things about Tati and James. This is what I think happened because I know how she works. I think he said, yeah, James pulled the plug on his mom, and right before he did, she signed everything over to him. And then after she passed away, the sister filed a lawsuit. I think he just kind of stated it that way. And I think Katie put her spin on it like she does, like we know her to do. And she turned it into, this is why he done it. He done it for the money. As soon as his mom signed everything over to him, he took her off life support, and then his sister sued him. So what it boiled down to, though, his sister was the one that was not in with the family. James Westbrook's sister that filed the lawsuit, she was like the black sheep of the family, really. So anyways, it was all these things that I think Clark told her that he wanted it leaked probably. But I think that he didn't even tell her some of the things that she said in the way that she said them. I think he stated stuff like, I think this is why this may have happened. And I think, like I said, I think Katie just put her spin on things the way that she does. Now, it was really funny. It was so funny because when a filing happened, I remember Emily Baker was covering everything. And Katie had jumped on her Twitter to say that someone just so happened to be at the courthouse in Los Angeles at the time that someone else brought in these filings. So they spotted it and they contacted Katie. And it was like, oh my God, you got to go check because this was just filed. I just saw someone walk in and file this. Go check it out. So Katie claims, no, nobody told me. I mean, nobody told me in advance this was going to be filed. The only way I knew is because someone just so happened to be in the courthouse when this was filed. Then Emily D. Baker, she told us that it was actually e-filed. There was no way that Katie would have known that these documents were about to be filed because they were done over the computer. They were e-filed. So Katie lied to her audience saying, she could have just said, a source told me that they were about to be filed and be on the lookout for it. But she this whole big old step. Oh, there was someone in the courthouse, and they saw this person come in and do X, Y, Z. I didn't even finish listening to the rest of the clip. We will, but the main thing that I wanted to talk about is, back in the day, Katie had a lot of friends. The people in her community, all the women in her community, well, not all of them, but several women in her community was her friend. They would have little get-togethers, and they done things for her because she had it rough. Her child was sick all the time. So they even had shirts made, I do believe. I think I seen a picture where they were all wearing shirts, like prayers for V or something. I don't know. They had nights where they got together, and not any of them she's friends with anymore. Why? The Facebook group that she started for moms of kids with disabilities or whatever it was. I don't remember the Facebook group that she started. She was gonna like deactivate it, but she ended up just like leaving it be because every one of those women didn't want to be friends with her anymore. Why? There's got to be something like it's because, and literally I say this from the bottom of my heart, and I hope she understands this. She does not know how to be a friend. She's got to reel it back and think, would I want someone to do this to me?
And she clearly doesn't, because anytime the tables kind of get turned around on her, she doesn't like it. She doesn't want it to happen. Like right now, I'm sure she's going to have an issue that people are covering the story, and that people are probably going to beat this horse dead. You know what I'm saying? Like they are going to keep beating it and talking about this lawsuit. But the fact of the matter is, somebody who is famous is suing her, and if it was somebody that's famous was suing somebody else, she would be covering the story.
Absolutely.
And
she always did.
So everybody has a right to cover this. And I think one thing about it, the one thing I think about it, the only reason why I'm invested in it at all, really, honestly, is because of what she did to us, and not just what she did to us, like not just how she treated Elle or what she did to us, which is enough, because it really pissed me off. So of course I'm invested in her not being on a platform to continue to do stuff like that. But what she's done to other people, the things that I've seen her do to other people, like, a lot of other people that she's come in contact with, she did the same thing. Like, the thing with the little girl, where she was like, accused her of just being a little brat or whatever. Like, why? Why would anybody do that? But, and then the way she's came at everybody else, or came for everybody else, or something would happen. I've literally seen so many times something happen, and then, a couple weeks later, she's saying that something completely different happened. Mm-hmm. When everybody on the internet saw exactly what happened, and proof was put out, and she might even put an apology video up for 5 minutes and then took it down, But then she, you give it a couple weeks, she has this pattern of doing things and then waiting a couple weeks and then denying it, And I think I just don't like it, man. I don't want her to be able to do what she did to us, to other people. I don't want her to be able to do, and that's one of the things that Todd Chrisley says. Mm-hmm. He says, I'm not going to let, he said he's going to come after her because of what she did to his family. And so she can't do this to anybody else, continue to do this to anybody else.
Yeah.
And it didn't have to get to this point, honestly.
If she would have just realized, that she's doing it all wrong. Like, there's times that I've probably went too far and said too much. Absolutely. We're human. Sometimes you get a little carried away. But it's just all the time with her. It's like Katie doesn't think about anybody else's mental health except hers. And she'll laugh at someone else who's struggling. Oh, they don't want you to talk about it. It was just like the situation with the screenshots back in the day. When those were released and me and my sister asked people not to talk about them, she tweeted, oh, Elle Bee don't want the screenshots to be talked about now. Well, I didn't really want them to be, I didn't ask for them to be released. And I never asked people to talk about them. I was waiting to get with my sister and find out what my sister wanted to do. Now, if my sister would have said, yes, release them, I would have been the first one to put them on my channel to show people because I thought they were real, 100%. But, when we were going through my nephew passing away, it wasn't like they're going through way too much. I'm not going to, no. She literally gets on there and tweets, oh, Elle Bee don't want the screenshots talked about at the beginning. Elle Bee don't want the screenshots talked about now. Now, does she? No, I don't want them talked about any until my sister knew, and it was her decision to talk about it.
Yeah, and then, there's stuff like, the way she laughed and mocked Toddy Westbrook whenever she was having a mental breakdown and crying. I remember seeing that, and she was having a mental breakdown. People are human; they're allowed to do that, but she kind of, no, she didn't kind of mock her. She did mock her, and she laughed about it. But then, like, whenever she was really going through it with the other lawsuit and a lot of things were going wrong and bad for her, she got on camera and did the same exact thing and wanted pity from people, wanted people to lay off and to stop.
Well, then it was like, I'm human. I have feelings. This is too much. She started posting stuff about suicide and stuff like that. And it's like, girl, I just want to like shake her and be like, Katie, do you not understand? This is what you do to people. This is what you've done to me. This is what you've probably done to Amber Portwood. I mean, mind you, Amber Portwood deserves a lot, but she's never done anything to Katie Joy. So why should Katie Joy be the one to pay her back for anything? This is what she's done to the Duggars. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff the Duggars has done, but it's not Katie's job to make them pay for anything. This is what Katie's done to so many other people. And I'm like, so when I watched that video, I was like, I don't watch Katie, but I actually did see that video. I was pulling up to the library. I had to do something Peach, back in the Tati lawsuit, when it was really kind of getting deep, and it was estimated that she had already spent like thousands of dollars. She went on a stream and she cried and said that she was just having a really hard time. And then that night she posted on Instagram things about like suicide and stuff like that.
Everything that, this was affecting everything she had built and worked for, and it was all being taken away, and it was affecting, her family's whatever. And I could not help. If it would have been anybody else, I would have felt bad, or I know I would have felt bad. But just the irony when she put that video out was just
because it's like, how many people have
okay.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm done.
But I would imagine, those 4 cease and desist that you got from Tati Westbrook, she was begging you. And Katie laughed about that. I've gotten 4 cease and desist from Tati Westbrook. And then, so maybe you have people the same way.
And then Tati Westbrook literally released a video almost, she said different things in it, but it was the same type of video to where she was like crying and she was having a hard time and everything was just kind of like too much for her right then. And I watched a video of Katie sit there and laugh. I don't know where, but she just laughed at her, it's too, like mocking it, but that's the problem right there. I mean, I think that's the problem. I think is there a group out there that is like really crazy?
Yes.
And they're trying to lie and frame Katie for stuff?
Right. Well,
yes.
I think they have. And I don't agree with that.
Me and Sean don't agree with that. Not at all. There's a group out there of crazy people that have like tried to take Katie down, I guess, or I don't know. I don't know what their intentions were. Maybe to just cause mayhem or whatever. I don't know. I do think there's a group out there that's like that, and I don't agree with it at all. But I know that there's also a lot of people, a lot of normal people, and that are just invested in seeing her not continue to do the things that she has done online to people. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's not just your typical gossip.
Right. And, exactly.
It's not your typical like gossip, say something, talk about something and then move on. It's like, man, it's just been like, I know the way she came after us, and then, I don't think we've ever said half as disgusting things as she said about you.
No, absolutely not. No.
By my opinion, I mean, we're never like Katie's effing this.
No, because she started was like F you, and said my real name. And I mean, I got on my channel one time heated, and it cost me. So now I always try to make sure I calm down and I don't act that way. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to listen to the rest of it. I just wanted to point out, and like really, if KJ watches this, which I doubt she does, is she needs to understand what Todd is saying here is correct. This is the reason you don't have friends, because the very same thing that you are doing, what he's talking about. So you proclaim that you and Lindsay Chrisley are great friends. I mean, you even tweeted when V was in the hospital, you thanked Lindsay Chrisley and Amy Duggar King for being there for you as support while your son was in the hospital, and that they're such great friends. While you had already talked crap about Lindsay behind her back to someone you didn't even know. You didn't even know this person named Leslie. I don't really know Leslie. But this Leslie person appeared, and she supposedly had these videos and audios of Kale using racial slurs, which they're non-existent. It didn't happen. And I don't think Leslie had it, but Leslie was told that someone had it, and they were supposed to give it to Leslie to release, I believe, or something like that. And Leslie was like tweeting like hints about she had something big, and Katie started messaging her, what do you have? What do you have? And they got to talking about Lindsay. And then Katie, literally best friends, right? Starts talking bad about Lindsay. And she literally takes a picture off Lindsay's Instagram that Lindsay had taken. It's a picture of Lindsay kind of posing. She's looking back like this. She's wearing an off the shoulder top, and she has like a Bible scripture underneath the picture. Katie goes to the trouble of going to her friend's Instagram account, finding that picture, screen grabbing it, going back and sending it to this Leslie person that she didn't even know, and saying, I found this so tacky. That's your friend? That's your friend? That's why you don't have friends. That's why you don't have friends. Thank you, Shar. Exactly. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to listen to the rest of this. If she thinks I'm just bullying her, harassing her, that whatever. But if you take nothing else from what I say, Katie, take that, because that is the truth.
It's the way you spoke about my daughter. Now you've gone and told that Lindsay was the lead best friend, because best friends don't speak about their best friends the way you just spoke about my daughter. Now, you've gone and told that Lindsay was the leak, that Lindsay was the one providing you information about our family, that Lindsay was begging you to write these articles, to put these things on your YouTube. You've gone and told all of that information we're now sitting on, and your phone records are going to confirm the information that we have. So if you truly, which I know the truth is something that you have no concept of, but I am not the bitch for you. I promise you, you are still in training. I am certified.
A certified hustler.
Your lies end now. You will not write about the Chrisley family again with your lies, because I'm going to put you out of business. And in the course of me putting you out of business, I will save other families and other individuals out here that you have targeted in the reality realm of television, or just in television as a whole, so that you can try to pay your power bills, because your husband's failed music career did not provide enough to support you. So with that being said, come for me. I'm leaving my door open for you, Katie Joy Paulson, without a crystal ball. Come for me. You're walking over, but you'll limp back. So, folks, that's my rant on Katie Joy Paulson and without a crystal ball and the lies that she has told. So now we can move on to the first caller.
Okay, so I just got to tell you guys. Okay, so I got to tell you guys something. The first time I heard this, I was standing in my bathroom, and I was getting ready to go to Fresh Fest. It was 8 o'clock this morning. And my daughter actually walked in for a second, and I was jumping up and down. I was jumping up, and she opened the door. She goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh my God. Oh my God." I was like, "Oh my God. Todd Chrisley's going off on Katie Joy." I was like, "This is crazy." So the facial expressions that you guys seen now and in the video that I made, that was me listening to it again, still blown away at what he said. But the first time I heard it, you guys, I was literally jumping up and down. I was stomping. I was clapping. I was literally, when he was like, "Come for me," I was like, "Come for me." I was like, "Do it." I was like, oh my God. Like, I love the way he just drugged the hell out of her. And listen, that's unchristian-like of me. It is. And I probably need to reel it back some. But literally the reason I feel this way is because I don't think she's going to understand. She needs a wake-up call. And I thought that Tati doing that, like I thought when she was served, the lawsuit with Tati, I thought that would be her wake up call. And Katie will say, I don't understand, Leslie. We made amends. Why do you keep doing this? Well, for once, every time we've made amends, you've always continued to like run your mouth about me, and then for two, you don't stop doing what you do. So it's hard. Like, it's hard for me to sit back as a content creator who cares about my audience, who cares about the truth. It's hard for me to sit back and see these clips of you picking on a 9-year-old rape victim. It's hard for me to sit back and see these clips of you mocking someone that has anxiety and has to take anxiety medicine. It's hard for me to see you lie. You know what I'm saying? To the people that pay your bills. It's hard for me to see you yell at them. It's hard for me to see a clip where you're talking about, something, and then a woman in your chat says that she lost her child, and you tell that woman that it's not about her. Stop it. You guys stop talking. Nobody's paying attention to me. This is not about you. Literally. You were talking about the day that your son almost passed away. What do you think your chat's supposed to do? Just sit there and listen? I don't know if you guys have seen this clip, but it's somewhere. I mean, it's out there, but literally she was talking about the day that her son almost passed away. So of course, everybody in the chat was like, oh my God, that's so terrible. And then there was this lady that was like, Katie asked, have you guys ever been, she asked something like, have you ever been in the ER and just been terrified because you don't know if your life's about to change dramatically? I don't know. She said something about being in the ER and just terrified. And this lady said, yes, I know exactly how that feels. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Like the lady was like, yes. And I'm sorry you went through that. And then people asked like, well, how did your child make out? Was it you or your child? My child. Well, how did your child make out? Is your child okay? No, my child passed away. And then Katie, everybody's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's so terrible. This one person started getting a little attention. So Katie's reading the chat and she's seeing that, and she puts a stop to it. She goes, what are you guys talking about? Why are you guys not listening? What do you mean they're not listening? How do you know they're not listening? Because your chat's moving? Because they're talking? They're supposed to. People were supposed to talk in your chat. But she literally started getting on to people because they were talking to this other lady and sending her condolences. And then Katie jumped on all over them. And then she jumped on the lady and told the lady, this isn't about you. Like, are you serious? So,
one thing I want to make clear is, even if, if I knew about all the stuff that I've seen her do, even if she didn't do anything to me personally or my family personally, then I would still be like, man, this is terrible. Like, somebody needs to get this woman in control, because this ain't right. It ain't right for her to continue to do stuff like this, But so I just don't feel like it's right, man. It's terrible. It's terrible. Like, people don't deserve to be treated that way.
no.
And it really bothers me that, it's always like, oh, well, everybody's attacking me. I'm being harassed, and this and this and that. Well, you're not the only person that has received death threats. Other people do. Other creators get harassed, receive death threats and stuff. And has it happened to her more? Maybe.
I've not seen any proof of it. And at this point, I know that KJ will lie and say that things happened that didn't happen. So I have to question what she got. Yeah. Because
for sure. I mean, I definitely question. I don't believe anything just because I don't know. I question a lot about whether stuff has happened. I know that I do believe there's a group out there that like go at her really hard,
absolutely,
and stuff, and they've lied and stuff like that. I don't think that's necessary at all. But my thing is, nobody likes a villain like that just sits back and is a villain to everybody and anybody that they come in contact with. And I don't understand how at this point with all the evidence and all the proof out there of the things that she's done, why are there still so many people that, like defend her? Like,
They're new. That's why.
Are these the same kind of people?
They're new.
Or do they just not know? Or do they refuse to, like, listen to anybody but her? I mean, what's the deal?
I can tell you
not all of them are new. Not all of them are new.
A lot of them
some
are.
of them have been there for a long time.
No, okay. So Katie only has, I think, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she only has 2 moderators left that go way back, and that's Scarlett and Jessie Bear. And from what I understand, Jessie Bear has to take breaks away because she's not this big KJ supporter like people think she is. From what I understand, and this is just what I've been told, that she doesn't like the things that KJ stands for, but she can't just leave because her and KJ were friends, and KJ knew a lot of stuff about her, and that she's scared KJ will come for her, or it'll be like a big ordeal. So she'll be there for a little bit, and then she'll take a break, and then she'll come back, and then she'll take a break. Now Scarlett, I don't know, because let me tell you guys something. Me and Scarlett used to message back and forth, and she sent me pictures of herself and stuff like that. And Scarlett seems to be a good person. So I don't know, but I think that's the only 2 that, as far as moderators that she has that are way back moderate. All of the other ones have left, and most of them have come out to say, I don't support her. That when I was a moderator, she done XYZ. That when she was a moderator, this and this and this happened. And I don't support that. Now, as far as people that follow her, I can't think of one person that follows her now that followed her, when we were friends, or a year ago or 8 months ago. Now, she probably has some that's probably
there's a couple.
5 or 6 months. Is Nadia still around? I haven't seen Nadia. Is she?
I think I saw a message from her not too long
ago.
No,
I haven't seen Nadia in a long time.
I swear I saw a comment from her not too long ago.
So, yeah, I think most of her following now, and I think the reason why she has so many followers is because a lot of people watch her to record her. There's 8,000 people on Reddit. I'm not saying all those people record her, but I bet you a couple hundred do. A couple hundred, they are subbed and they have their notification bell ring because they don't want to miss one thing. So I think there's people that are subbed to her that just keep an eye on her, and then I think a lot of the people are new people.
Yeah, and maybe I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe they just tune in for what they enjoy.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is
she does. I don't like any of her content, but obviously she can put together content.
She can
to where people enjoy it. So I don't understand why all the other stuff has to go on. And all I know is I don't like when I see anybody do people the way she has done people. I don't like it. It's disgusting.
I'm gonna show you guys some screenshots. Hold on. That's the thing is Katie Joy is not a bad YouTuber. She's actually pretty good. Like the videos that I would watch when she would cover something like the Amber Portwood situation, the Duggars, when she's not crossing the line and going against something, like where I'm like, oh, she shouldn't have done that. That's too much. She does pretty good. So I think that's why she does gain a following. I think like the comments that I'm getting here recently, I think that's the people that just watch her regular content. And then they hear her say, I have these people that are attacking me. This has been going on for 2 years. They harass me. Elle Bee is a part of this. This person's a part of this, blah, 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 blah. And then they just think, well, she seems like a good person. Why are all these people going after her? Well, ask yourself that question. And I'm not going after her. I'm just covering the situation. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to me and Katie, I tried to do that situation the best way that I could by putting out my series. I have 3 videos up that details what happened between me and Katie starting from the beginning. Now I'm not finished actually, but I just haven't made part 4, but I probably will. But it tells from the very beginning what happened between me and her. And I feel like her people don't know that. All they hear her talking about is all these people that have been going after her for 2 years and that I'm a part of that. So when they come to my channel and they leave me these negative comments, leave her alone, you're just a bully. I'm like, I literally comment back and say, I understand why you think that. But I assure you, I do not bully Katie. I've reported on her over lawsuits that she's been involved in. Yes, I have videos up about what happened between me and her. And if you want to see what happened, you can go watch my series. There's 3 parts to it, and it shows everything with receipts. I have proof. Like, there's no denying what I'm showing you. There's proof. So if you want to know, why I talk about Katie and why she's calling me a bully, go watch the videos. I didn't start these problems with Katie, and I didn't try to continue these problems with Katie. I tried on multiple occasions to be her friend, but she can't have friends. It's very weird. Like, it's like she's too wrapped up in herself and her own agenda to accept a friend and just be friends.
Somebody made a good point, and I was about to go lay down, but I read this, and this is an excellent point. Jeanette Stevens, put that up there. Okay, she went after the Duggar sponsors, and then when she lost her sponsor, she got all mad and said that haters did it. Mm-hmm. That is a freaking prime example of what she does that is so frustrating and aggravating, and how she will cross the line. She will attack she will go take things on that level, like contact people's sponsors, get other people to contact people's sponsors, try to cancel people or get, she's done that. But then at the same time, when people do her that way, she doesn't like it. They're crossing a line. And I agree, it is crossing a line. Like, Elle would never be like, oh, I'm going to contact anybody, from somebody's life, right? From somebody's real life. No sponsor or nothing like that. But if she was to say, I'm going to do this, I'd be like, what? Don't do that. No.
I did call the clerk of court to see if there was a filing on this lawsuit.
That's different.
But that's different.
You're not contacting them trying to do them harm.
No, not at all.
The Stoffers, didn't she I
actually am going to read you guys about it.
Didn't she yeah. And
I have it all listed right here. So someone actually typed all this up, and it's on Twitter, but I'm going to show you guys this. And I'm going to read it really quick. It just kind of tells you how Katie goes real life. Okay, let me see I don't think this is, I may be missing some. Oh, crap, I think I'm missing some.
How are you missing some?
I think there was another part. No, it don't say. I'm missing some. I'm missing, hold on. Oh, crap. Hold on, guys. I have a few screenshots, but this actually, all right, real life. I'm missing the first picture, but this is talking about how she goes real life. I can't believe I forgot the first one. Okay, so someone put this on Twitter. And this is just to show people how she goes real life. But I forgot the first page. Somehow I missed the first page. So she accused Steve McRae of something which ranged between comments like he made me uncomfortable to sexual harassment, changing the story like the weather on numerous occasions when each story was either questioned or debunked. So added details are up the ante to sexual harassment to gain sympathy, and again spread a negative narrative of Steve while the non-sex case was going to court. Real life. Another one is announced on social media that Elle Bee's nephew had passed away before the mother of the child decided if and when she was going to release this information, and the family had a chance to grieve or even plan the funeral.
And had the information wrong.
And she had that information wrong.
I don't know where she came up with how.
I have no idea.
Where what he passed away from, but she was wrong.
Yeah, when Katie posted about my nephew passing away, the way that she said he passed away was not even accurate. And I don't even know where she got that information. So anyways, let's go back.
Because she didn't get it from you or Florien.
No, she didn't get it from us. She should have never made any post regarding the tragedy until the family had a chance to begin to grieve and decide for themselves if and when to make it public. But KJ also made sure to include her condolences post to point out that she had also discussed the YouTube beef that they had with each other over the previous months and that they all agreed to put it aside. Are you freaking serious? A mother and father just lost a child, siblings, a brother, an aunt, a nephew, etc. And during an apparent conversation to pass on condolences, you bring up YouTube beef, then be sure to include it in your post.
She didn't know. Nobody talked to her about that.
No, she did apologize. She sent condolences, and I was like, "Thank
nobody
you."
was like, "Yeah, let's put the past."
No.
Nobody talked to her about that.
No,
I never discussion.
No, I never said we're over our beef, anything like that. I just said it puts life into perspective, and it really kind of shows you how petty this YouTube drama is. Is basically what I said. But I didn't say that we were cool. You know what I'm saying? Let me figure out where I am. I can't really see it. Okay. A mother and father just lost a child, siblings, a brother, and an aunt, a nephew, etc. And during an apparent conversation to pass on condolences, you bring up YouTube beef, and then be sure to include it in your post that it's agreed to forget about it. Can you imagine how they felt that day, hours after the tragedy, and KJ is talking about YouTube beef? Is the first person to release it on social media, ensuring she comes out smelling like roses, because she wanted people to know that she reached out and they agreed to stop this petty YouTube beef. Disgraceful. If you truly meant these condolences, you would have left it at that. Done it in private, not even raised the YouTube crap, and waited until the family had made any of this information public. But first to the story, right, KJ? Real life. Pulled Elle Bee's financial information and blasted it all over social media, fitting it to her own narrative without knowing any facts. Real life. Blasted Elle Bee's arrest all over social media before it had been announced in the local press and before many of Elle Bee's own family was even aware. Now, it had been posted once on a Facebook page, but nowhere else. And that was our local Facebook page that somehow Katie was following my local Facebook page, a local Facebook page that posts arrest. So it had been posted once. And before many of Elle Bee's own family was aware. So how did Elle Bee happen to come across this information so quickly? And then to blast it over social media and to report possible drug use, again with no facts, real life. That is true. Katie did post this before I even told a lot of my family. Encourage people to report / mass flag Elle Bee's channel after a petty back and forth between the two, real life. Then accuse both Elle Bee and Steve McRae of holding a fraudulent fundraiser to raise money for Elle Bee's family for Christmas, real life. Accusing James Westbrook of being involved in the death of his mother for monetary gain, real life. I think, hold on. Woman chose a home birth. KJ sticks her nose where it doesn't belong and calls the cops on the woman. Can't remember what she says. CPS or the cops. It was the cops. I remember this. She called the I don't remember when it exactly happened, but I remember hearing about it. KJ sticks her nose where it doesn't belong and calls the cops on the woman. As she stated, it was dangerous for the woman to have a home birth, none of her business, and going into someone else's real life because you disagree with a personal with a personal birthing choice they have made, real life. And so this happened. This lady was going to do a home birth in the bathtub. She was stripped down of her clothes in the bathtub, and the cops show up at her house, knock on the door. She has to get out. She had to get out and go to the door Well, she has to get out, put clothes on, and go to the door and answer the door. And the cops are like, "Is everything okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she said, I'm just upset because it was very inconvenient. I'm literally in labor in my home, and I have to get out and walk, put some clothes on and go answer the door for the cops because this woman called the cops on me and reported me. That's real life. She told her subs/supporters to stop watching and unsubscribe from Micah Stauffer and to contact her sponsors. Same with the Duggars. While reporting on the Duggars on numerous occasions, she told her subs not to watch the Duggars and that show needed to be canceled and that TLC should not get ad revenue from the show for the show. She told everyone to call Micah Stauffer's husband's sponsors, and she listed every one of the Duggar sponsors on her Twitter. I remember that. That's cancel culture that Katie claims she doesn't believe in. But now KJ is complaining that people are contacting her sponsors or brand contacts. What's good for the goose is good for the gander and all that. Real life. Told people to contact the LAPD about Shane Dawson and even put a number up for the officer in her tweet urging and encouraging people to call. And she even said that she even said that she had victims contact her when there were no victims.
Because it wasn't even a real thing.
No, it wasn't a real thing. After Amber Portwood went on IG informing KJ that she was taking legal action against her, which for anyone watching was clear. It was clear that she was talking about taking legal action in the form of a cease and desist. KJ twisted it to mean a physical threat against her and called Amber Portwood's prosecutor and probation officer and then blasted it all over social media. I'm no particular fan of Amber, but it was clear what she meant, and it wasn't doing physical harm. But let's face it, in these CCTV audio clips of Amber and Andrew made Katie's channel. It was the audio clips of Amber and Andrew that made Katie's channel and made her a lot of money. So she continued to milk it for all that it was worth to garner sympathy, play the afraid victim, and continue to gain subs, clicks, views, and money. Amber was in enough trouble legally and didn't need any additional legal trouble, but KJ didn't care and she tried to make it worse. Remember the thanks for the furniture comment? Oh, I remember because it was said to me. That was said to me. When she made all that money that first month after the audios, she told me, just got brand new furniture. Thanks, Amber. And this is a woman that, is an advocate for domestic violence. When Amber went on that IG Live, all she said was we got your address because we're going to be sending you something. My lawyers are going to be sending you something. KJ jumps on social media and says that Amber threatened her physical harm. And then she contacted the prosecutor that was dealing with the case against Amber with Andrew. She contacted the prosecutor and told the prosecutor what was happening. And then she contacted Amber's probation officer and told the probation officer that Amber had violated that she had violated her probation terms because she had threatened to physically harm someone. So they had to do a little investigation. Her probation officer did. And then her probation officer said, no, she didn't. She didn't do anything. But she tried. And had Amber violated her probation, she could have went to jail for up to 5 years. She did not care. Yes, Katie Joy Paulson contacted Amber Portwood's probation officer. When Katie Paulson got all the audio of the situation that happened between Amber and Andrew, Katie's channel was around, I don't remember, maybe 10 to 20,000 viewers at that time. 10 to 20,000 viewers. Me and her were neck and neck. We were about even. And she gets this audio. Overnight, her channel takes off. And she does video after video after video after video about this. She makes about $10,000 that first month. She went from making about $2,500 to $3,000 a month to over $10,000 solely off the Amber Portwood audios, right? And then Amber would go on IG Lives, and she wouldn't call her name, but she would just say, this YouTuber, would you please stop? Leave me alone. Stop it. Stop talking about me, please. I'm not doing well. And you guys remember, Amber Portwood, hold on, let me get back where you guys can see me. Amber Portwood suffers from, she's borderline personality disorder. She's something else. She's got a few different situations going on with her, you know. And then mentally, Amber's not okay. Like that, Amber could become suicidal, you know. And then she has Katie, who is just going after her. So Amber finally says, listen, this YouTuber who's making bank off my name, I know you are. I know what you do. You don't have a real job. This is the most money you've ever made. I got your email address. I know where you live. We had to get that information for legal proceedings. So you're going to be getting something soon from me. That's what she said. That is what she said. Katie contacted the prosecutor in Amber's domestic violence case and said, Amber Portwood, who has charges right now for domestic violence, she threatened me on an IG Live. Then she contacted her probation officer and said she's on probation and she violated it because she threatened to come to my house and physically hurt me. Then she got on a live stream on her channel and she said that Amber Portwood threatened to come to her house and physically harm her and that she was scared because she has her family there. That's where her family is. So for someone to threaten to show up at her house to do her harm, she's not going to take that. And she told people, that's what blows my mind, you guys, is that she literally told people that she contacted the PO and the prosecutor, and she told people that Amber made these threats when everyone knew that she didn't. Everyone was like, what? That's not what she said. No, she didn't threaten you. What are you talking about? No, she didn't. She just went with it. She went with it. She didn't care. That had the probation officer not looked into it and just took Katie's word for it, thank God they don't, Amber could have went to jail. She could have went to jail for that. That's real life, you guys. I'm not saying I like Amber, but that's real life. So let's go back to it. Okay. Jess. Thank you, Jess. So where do we send money to for you? Our truth to get a lawyer and go for her channel. Heck, even the Duggars, I would help. Not Josh, but the daughters. TC, best thing I've heard on the internet. Good luck to all of it. Thank you so much, Jess. You know, one of the reasons I haven't filed a lawsuit is because that is expensive. You know, I do have children. I'm also, you know, suing the police department for the arrest situation. And I haven't. I don't have the money to really do that right now. I mean, if I had to, I would. But I don't want to put any of my money towards a lawsuit when we do have 6 children. We do have bills. Like, I want to put that money towards my family. Now, if she was to start doing the stuff like she done 2019, 2020, if she was to start doing that again, I would highly consider it. I mean, my lawyer has everything. Like, every time she talks about me on her channel, and every time she has talked about me, I send it to my attorney. People will send it to me, and I send it straight to my attorney. And that's what we do. I mean, I talked to my attorney the other day about it, and I was just saying, like, what can we do? What needs to be done? Now, my lawyer right now, we have this case against the police department, so that's what we're dealing with. And we're just trying to, like, let it go. I will talk about this lawsuit, though. I cover Todd Chrisley. It is what it is, you know? All right, so let's go back to reading this. Okay. Accused Steve McRae of fraud with Medicare/Medicaid and the VA on numerous social media platforms with no evidence, but on the word of her bestie, Kyle Curtis, and carried these stories for months to anyone who would listen to discredit Steve while the case was going to court. Real life, she absolutely did do this. I have the screenshots where Katie had about 1,000 followers on her Twitter, and Steve McRae and Kyle Curtis, they were involved in this lawsuit against their channel. Katie was friends with Kyle, and for no reason, let me get back up here. For no apparent reason other than the fact she was just friends with Kyle. Like, she was friends with Kyle. Kyle was in the middle of this lawsuit. So Katie just decides, hey, I'm going to jump on Twitter and I'm going to start going at this Steve man that I don't really know that well. I'm just start badgering him. I'm just going to say, Steve, who pays your medical? Steve, who pays your medical? Steve, who pays your medical? You're committing medical fraud. You're frauding the government, Steve, over and over and over. She accused him of frauding the government. She accused him of fraud over and over and asking him, who pays your medical? Who pays your medical? And now, what's crazy is months later, when people was asking her who pays her medical, she literally tweeted out, it's none of your business who pays my medical. Well, why was it your business when, why was it your business about who paid Steve's medical? People were literally asking you this because you constantly talk about certain situations. So people were really wondering, what is going on with this? Who pays this? That's none of your business. But you and Steve literally had nothing to do with any of that. It was just that you were solely friends with Kyle. So you decided, I'm going to go after him. I'm going to go after him. All right. So let's go back to reading this. I think I read all of them. Let me see. Wait, no. And last but not least, doxing. Numerous doxes. Too many to list, but here are just a few. She doxed Creepshow in a Discord, confirmed by her best bud, Uni. She doxed Tina and Kim. She doxed many of her own mods on a live stream, including Jessie Bear, Scarlett, Britt C, Sandra, also Suzanne, her former colleague at Pathios. She doxed Elle Bee's phone number while ranting on a live stream and showing messages /DMs. She absolutely did. Also made a post on Twitter showing a voice clip of someone apparently leaving her a threatening voicemail. And this was back in 2019, long before any of the recent events. But it also showed around 5 or 6 telephone numbers doxing numerous people real life. On Kay's live stream, KJ states, I'm not going to apologize for things that I haven't done. And I'm also not going to apologize for things that I don't think that I've done wrong, or that just because I have an opinion about it, but I will apologize for the things that I have done. Go on then. And this person says, go on then. Try apologizing for even some. One of the above where you have gone real life, because you stated yourself, no one should go real life. So if this is the case, you want to apologize for that, right? Okay, KJ, don't worry. I'll wait, but I won't hold my breath. So, this was on Twitter, and that's very accurate. This is just a few of the things that KJ has went real life with. She's went real life. Before anybody that I've ever known to go real life on her, I literally didn't know people going real life on KJ until she was going real life on them. Amber Portwood never mentioned KJ until KJ mentioned Amber Portwood. Elle Bee never mentioned KJ other than, hey, Without a Crystal Ball has a video up about this as well. Go check her out. Trying to help her channel out. Never in a negative way did I ever mention KJ until KJ called me a disgusting human being with predatory behaviors and said a big old FULB over a video that she didn't even know, that she didn't even watch. She didn't even watch. Let's see. All right, so I want to show, someone actually compiled a list. This is crazy. They compiled a list of people that KJ has went after since being on YouTube. And what's crazy is they left me out. And I'm like, dang, I'm one of the biggest ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of the main ones. Well, I guess not. Like, Tati's really big. But Katie coming after me the way that she did, blasting my financials, blasting my arrest when I was falsely arrested, talking about CPS and my kids, calling me a drug addict when I wasn't, then saying that I probably sent my daughter's hair in to be tested when I literally took this test so I could prove I don't do drugs. Like, you don't volunteer for a hair follicle test if you do drugs. You're not going to do that. And nobody in their right mind would say, I'm just going to volunteer to go do a hair follicle test. to prove to the judge and everyone else that I don't do drugs. I did that though. But you know what Katie said? Oh, she probably took in her daughter's hair. What? So let's I'm gonna find the list. Hold on. Okay, so here's the list of people that KJ has went after. Tati Westbrook, Emily D. Baker. Okay, so what did she go after Tati Westbrook for? Simply because she says she didn't like Tati. She didn't like her vitamins. She didn't like Tati's husband. Emily Baker, she literally went after Emily Baker for
Hey,
breaking down. Yeah.
how much money did you make the month before your channel got shut down?
About $3,000.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it was like $2,800, I think. No, actually, well, straight from YouTube,
I actually thought it was $3,500.
No, well, straight from YouTube, I made $2,800, and then I had like PayPal's and Patreon and stuff like that. So I probably made maybe a little bit over $3,000 the month before my channel went down. Okay, so Emily Baker. This is the reason Katie hates Emily Baker. Emily Baker, her channel was small, but this is what she would do. She would cover lawsuits. That's what Emily Baker would do, cover lawsuits. So when Katie was sued by Tati Westbrook, Emily said, hey, I'm going to cover this. And Katie got so mad. She's not allowed to cover this. She's not allowed to cover this. But Katie, you were allowed to cover the lawsuit that Clark Swanson filed against Tati. So why can't an actual lawyer break down the lawsuit that Tati filed against you? Nate, the lawyer, her and Nate, the lawyer, were friends. But you want to know why they quit being friends? Because Nate, the lawyer, went on a stream with Emily D. Baker. That's why. They were friends. Listen, this is his job. That was an opportunity for him. Because Nate, the lawyer, you know, he's got a decent sized channel, but Emily Baker's was a good bit higher than him, I believe. So him going on Emily Baker's channel was an opportunity for him. And when he went, Katie messaged him and basically said, we're not friends anymore. Creep Show Art. Now, I don't like Creep Show Art after finding out that she stalked people, but before we knew any of that, we knew, you know, the stuff that happened between Creep Show Art and Katie. The viewer's voice. Katie literally called Nick Snyder a meth head. Now, anyone that's a recovering addict, how would you feel if this YouTuber called you a meth head? James Charles. KJ hates how Emily D. Baker has more views than KJ. That's the thing. And yeah, Tia, thank you so much.
I want to talk about something because
can I finish this?
This girl Lexi pissing me off.
Hold on, no, don't let nobody mess. Don't let nobody upset you. Hold on, I'm going to kind of explain who everyone is as I go down the list. Okay, James Charles. Okay, so the situation with James Charles is Katie actually had reached out to James Charles's mom or vice versa. Somehow they were talking. She was kind of friendly with her, but then she started talking crap about James Charles. James Charles actually messaged Katie and said, listen, Katie, take your videos down about Tati. Like, because if you don't, like, they may sue you. You need to take them down. He tried to warn her. You know what she did? She turned it around to make a video about it. She makes a video saying that she's basically being bullied into removing videos about Tati. And then she says, you guys can't silence me. You're not going to silence me. And he literally was trying to help. James Charles, he was friends with Tati, and Tati was telling him, we're about to sue her. So because his mom talked to Tati, he's like, you know what? I'm going to reach out. And he says, listen, Katie, please take those down. It's not going to be good. Rather than Katie saying, you know what, we done a good deed. I done a good deed for her. Or rather than Katie saying, he done me a favor by warning me. Let me go take this down. She runs on YouTube and she tells YouTube that these big YouTubers are trying to force her into silence. They're trying to silence her. That's not what they were doing. Like, he was literally trying to warn her. Steve McRae / the Great Debate Community / the Non Sequitur. I've talked about that a little bit. Sherelle's World / Sherelle's Way. So Sherelle did not know much about Katie, but Katie was an up and coming YouTuber. Sherelle, who had I think she's got 200, 300,000 subscribers. She invited Katie on to do a collab for Teen Mom. Now, after she did, though, Sherelle got bombarded. Sherelle got bombarded. Thank you for the super chat, Desiree. Sherelle got bombarded and said, listen, we love your channel, but we don't agree with Katie. We don't like Katie. Please don't have her on no more. So Sherelle said, I listen to my subscribers. I hear what you guys are saying. I won't have her on anymore. But why? What's the deal? So Sherelle started talking to people to see what the deal was. What is going on? And she started, bringing people on her channel to talk about why so many people dislike Katie. And then Katie attacked. Perry Sanders is Sherelle's husband. And obviously when Sherelle was having problems with Katie, Perry obviously was as well. Augie RFC, I really don't know what their issues were. Caroline Ironwheel was a viewer of Katie's, an avid viewer of Katie's. But she, I think she's autistic, right? And she has an issue with people chewing, the noise of chewing. Yeah, when I called Any Labs about my hair test, they said mine could go back as long as 12 to 16 months. But now on the sheet that I got, when I got it, it said verified for 90 days. But the lady said, really, it could go back probably 12 to 16 months because my hair was so long. Okay, so Caroline Ironwheel, I think she's autistic. And she was a viewer. She watched Katie, and Katie was on a stream, and Katie was chewing M&Ms. And this was bothering Caroline because she has an issue with sounds and noises and stuff like that. It's a sensory issue, right? Yeah, Carla, can someone put my email in the chat? And Caroline asked her, hey, Katie, if you don't mind, can you please not chew those M&Ms? It's really, bothering me. And Katie literally laughed and mocked her, and she threw another one in her mouth and just chomped on it and and said, geez, don't go watch a mukbang. And Caroline done a video, and she was like, I was a viewer. I liked watching her. And, my time is precious to me, and I don't watch mukbangs because I do have this sensory issue. I can't watch people chew and eat. So I asked, she asked Katie respectfully. She wasn't trying to be rude. And Katie having a son on the spectrum who supposedly has sensory issues should be more than aware that this exists and be sympathetic to people that have these sensory issues, rather than throwing another one in her mouth and chomping really loud and hard and all up in the camera and saying, geez, sorry, don't go watch a mukbang. She should have said, oh, I'm so sorry. I understand. My son has sensory issues and I really did not mean no harm. I apologize. No, she attacked this lady. True Ball of Wax. I really don't know exactly what happened between them. Little Red, y'all. Well, I just know Little Red, y'all. I don't know the first thing that happened between her and Little Red, but I know Little Red was a friend with Steve, and something happened with them without a freaking clue. Now, she threatened to sue without a freaking clue. I think that was without a freaking clue that she threatened to sue, claiming that she stole her logo, but it was actually different, a little different. Cheshire, Charlotte, Rich Lux, Truth Slew, E.B. What'd you say? Comic Nut. Without any crystal balls, not without a crystal ball.
Have you seen Bobby's phone?
No. Make sure it ain't over there on charge. Priming, Unirock. And Unirock was her best friend, the only person that would ever take up for her. And she flipped on him. Dustin Daly, 10 to Life, Dad's Challenge Podcast, H3H3 Productions, 8 Passengers, Micah Stauffer, Stauffer Garage, Suzanne, I don't know how to say her last name, Todd Chrisley, Shane Dawson, BX Beast Boy, Janelle Evans, Jeffree Star, Amber Portwood, Murder by Design, aka by Proxy, the Duggar family, Marlena Stale, Jilly Juice. I don't think Jilly Juice is on there. Rylan Adams, Trisha Paytas, Keemstar. Is it Repzilla or is it? I don't even know. Repzon. Def Noodles, PewDiePie, Angelica Oles, Unveiling the Mask, Kay Baxter, Chrissy Exposed, Just Brick Glow, Eyeshadow Allen, Give Them the D, Drama and T, Detox, EKC People Suck, Manda Pants. That is that Renelle? Is Renelle's first name Ashley? Renelle, is your first name Ashley? Are you in here? I thought I saw you a while ago. Is it Repzilla? I thought it was Repzilla. So 10 to Life, what happened with Katie and 10 to Life is because 10 to Life got the story about the little girl, Sophia Long. So Katie had been reporting on the Sophia Long situation, and she really wanted to get to talk to the dad. She wanted that interview so bad, but 10 to Life got it. And when 10 to Life got that interview, Katie flipped. All of a sudden, she goes to this girl is a victim. The dad is trying to save this girl. The mom is horrible. She flips, and then she starts saying, I don't know. Something don't sit right with this dad. Something's weird about this dad. I'm just not really believing it. I think the girl was kind of acting more bratty. I don't really know if I believe that what the dad is saying. So then when she didn't get that story and she didn't get that contact with the dad, she flipped on what she thought about it. And then she started attacking 10 to Life, from what I understand.
I hear his phone vibrating. I cannot find it though.
I don't know, babe. All right, so they asked, did I forget anyone? I'm like, hello. Someone said yes. They said EKC, but she did name EKC. Elle Bee, her husband's niece, because yes, Katie talked poorly about her husband's niece. God, her neighbors, the nurses who didn't agree with her, the flag. Yeah, so there's more. The guy that was working at the tree farm that they went to, Danielle Cohen. Is that how you say her name? Danielle Cohen asked for like her information not to be put out, and Katie put it out anyways. Let's see what else we have here. So these are just a few screenshots that I took from Twitter today because I thought this is something that I want to talk about. Desiree, thank you so much for a beer for you and your husband, for a beer for your hubby to relax after the troll. Thank you. Shine gets, I don't really let it bother me because I know the truth, and I know that so much Preacher Boy, yes, Preacher Boy, thank you. I've already put out a lot of proof. Anybody that wants to see what happened, they can go back to part 1 of the breakdown, between me and KJ. It's all there, and that proof is there. This person came in already not knowing facts, talking about us holding fundraisers. We didn't hold no fundraisers. This was something we already covered. So we knew this was not a person that has been here. But Sean, he's very protective. So he gets upset. So sometimes I have to try to calm him down. Like, no, don't get upset. It's okay. I don't know this person. And this person doesn't know me. This person only knows what they've been told about me, which is not true. The things that they've been told about me is not accurate. So they're going to have these feelings about me. They're going to come in here. What about this? What about that? All I can do is say, listen, this is what it is. This is what has happened. And then let them make their decision. If they want to stick with Katie, fine. Stick with Katie. Yes, Cynthia, yes. I stopped watching Crystal Ball after she backpedaled and threw Sanders Kennedy under the bus. She sure did throw Sanders Kennedy under the bus. She absolutely did. She lied about her pride flag, allegedly, claiming that it was ripped by her neighbors when just weeks earlier, she actually was outside and she was like showing her house and everything. And she shows this flag that has rips in it. It's flying. She's like, oh, the weather here, windy. It's destroyed our flag. And then later on, did Do y'all know if KJ is trolling you with troll accounts? Oh, probably. I'm sure she probably is. That's okay. Gives her something to do with her time tonight because we know she's not going to do anything productive. Okay, so here, let me tell you guys. So Unirock reported that KJ was going to be sued by Todd Chrisley. Well, Todd Paulson commented this. Nope, didn't happen, won't happen. Just like Uni, Todd Chrisley is a blowhard. And then Babs said, what do you know about blowhards? It's not, oh crap. It's not like you've been blown in a while, at least not by your wife. And then Todd laughed at it. I don't know. He laughed about it. Maybe he's got a great sense of humor. And then her husband, Todd Paulson, on a different account, comes in and says, Unirock, do your research, man. He's not suing her. Do you realize that if someone has an indictment against them, they can't throw out lawsuits against others? I know your cute little channel needs more views, but maybe try waiting until you have all the info before talking about something as true. Now, let me say this.
Can you plug my phone up over there, please?
Now, let me say this. First off, Todd Chrisley said he is suing her. And he said that Katie's attorney had already been served with a spoliation notice. I think that's how you say it. I think that's how you say it. A notice not to destroy any evidence or like any videos that you have made talking about us. Do not just destroy them. Now, why would Todd Chrisley serve Katie with that if he was not planning on suing her? Why? Obviously for a reason. He got that out there as quickly as possible so she would know not to delete anything. And now they're going to take the proper steps to file this lawsuit, right? Now, he says, do you realize if someone had an indictment against them, they can't throw out lawsuits against them? Well, that's not true. Okay, he may be under indictment, but you are innocent. You are innocent until proven guilty. Also, Todd Chrisley is suing people that work for the Department of Revenue. Todd Chrisley has a lawsuit against either the Department of Revenue or the people that investigated his case that work for the Department of Revenue. He has lawsuits against them already. He's in the middle of that situation now and getting he literally just went to court to have things approved, to have certain people deposed in this lawsuit and stuff. And even if you are in prison, you can sue. That's your, I believe that it is a constitutional right.
I don't know if it's a constitutional
I would think you have a constitutional right to sue someone.
I mean, you can sue them. Well, I guess it kind of would be a constitutional right. You can sue somebody in prison. I mean,
yeah,
you can be locked up in prison, and there's a bunch of prisoners that sue.
Yep.
Prisons. Hand me my phone. I'm gonna go plug it up and lay down in there. I need to do some schoolwork. So when you get
about to get off, babe.
When you get off, wake me up.
Do you need this charger?
No, I've got a charger and everything.
Here. All right, I'm looking it up. Can you sue someone? You do have the legal right to sue someone. Oh, this says who is in jail or prison, but the logistics would be more challenging. Okay. No, I said, can I sue someone if I am in prison? Can a convict sue someone from inside prison?
I know for a fact there's a bunch of people over there.
I think I've heard of this happening.
I think it was in California. They sued. What does it say?
Hold up. Molly Moose said that KJ put on her Facebook and told Todd Chrisley he has no rights to her private conversations with Lindsay and is claiming journalistic rights to not reveal source. I have an issue with that. First off, her attorney has already stated that she would cooperate and that she would hold on to anything. Second, she sent some of the stuff to other people.
Hold
on. So she sent stuff to other people. So the stuff that Lindsay told her, she went around telling it to other people. Lindsay said XYZ about Todd. Lindsay said XYZ about Todd. So second, she cannot claim journalist rights when she's not a journalist. She's not a journalist. Wait, really? Did she really say that? Isn't Joe Exotic suing someone and he's in prison? Yes, I think he is. Or he's getting suing someone, something. I don't know. And she turned off the comments. I wonder why. Exactly.
Okay, well, you have says here, you have the right to sue wrongfully in prison, can take legal action, wrongdoer. Under Article 21, we have the fundamental right to move freely. Hold on, that's not it.
So yes,
prisoners file a lot of lawsuits because there is a lot of foul stuff going on in prisons. Yeah.
So yes, you can sue someone.
That prison channel I watched, they were talking about how a bunch of prisoners out there had a lawsuit going on against the state of California.
Hold on, I'm gonna put it in the chat. I didn't see it, Matt, so I'll put it in the chat. Love you, babe. I'll be in there in a little bit. So you absolutely can sue someone if you're under indictment because you are innocent until proven guilty. Are her videos about the Chrisleys defamatory? I haven't seen them. Well, I think yes. And yeah, because when she would go to start a stream to talk about the Chrisleys, she would have her scissors and a glue stick because she literally claimed that Julie Chrisley was cutting and pasting documents together to forge like bank statements and stuff like that because they were committing fraud. That's how they would do it. That Julie Chrisley was over here cutting stuff up and pasting it, to commit fraud. Unirock Cage was doing a live. We're just doing a live conspiring to take Roadhog down. Well, she's back with Unirock tonight. That's okay. I mean, she's always back with Unirock. I don't care. Like the only reason I went on Unirock's channel the other day, I didn't go on it. I was in the chat. Is because someone told me that he was reading tweets of mine. So I went on and was like, "What's going on here?" And I was just in that. I don't even that they'll always. I don't know why, but they always go back together. Well, here's the one reason why. Nobody else is friends with Katie. The only friend she will ever have is Unirock. Or the only person that will ever talk to her and defend her a little bit is Unirock. And I think the only reason Unirock will defend her is because of the Steve situation. I honestly think that if that Steve situation was not there at all, if Unirock did not have such a problem with Steve and Steve did not have such a problem with Unirock, Unirock would have been done with Katie. That's what I think. All right, let's continue looking at these screenshots I have. So, Canis Darius, you were so wrong in that. I absolutely believe you have a constitutional right. Emily Baker said you can sue anyone. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, so someone posted that on Twitter. Let me see what it was. Let me go back. Hold on. Okay, so this is what Katie said. Oh my God, my husband is not a neo-Nazi. Well, I don't think Todd Chrisley ever said that he was a neo-Nazi. Todd Chrisley said that he received information that Katie's husband had a music video made, and in the music video, it showed neo-Nazi symbolisms. I don't recall Todd saying, oh my God, her husband is a neo-Nazi. I don't think he said that. This podcast is like listening to the other lawsuit with people inserting their false information about us. Norse mythology is not Nazi. Please stop using sources made up of people who lie and spread ridiculous rumors about me and my hubby. Now, I don't know, but I know the symbols that I saw. Back when I saw them, I looked them up to see what they were, and it did say that they come from that they were adopted by pagans, I believe. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it did say that there was something there with concerning like white supremacists and stuff like that. Accusing someone of being a Nazi or white supremacy is, in this political climate, can get that person killed. I will never allow my family to be defamed in this way because their safety matters to me. You don't have to like me, but you also shouldn't want to cause my family harm. Listen to me. Listen to me, Katie Joy. Okay. Accusing someone of being a Nazi, in this political climate can have someone killed. Let me tell you what else can have someone killed. When you say Josh Duggar is a pedophile, and I think he learned it from Jim Bob. I think Jim Bob has been doing things to them boys. I think he learned it from Jim Bob. You want to know what else is like when you go on your channel and you say that a man pulled his mom off life support for her money. Like that's also dangerous territory that you're stepping into. When you say that someone's on drugs and they're the mother of 6 children, and then you talk about CPS needing to get involved. You know what I'm saying? Like that's dangerous territory that you're stepping into. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the dangerous territory that she's put on people, calling Janelle a racist for simply calling out Grace Report. Exactly. I mean, Katie's called people racist. Oh my God, she called me a racist. Oh my God, Katie called me a racist a long time ago. She called me a racist. I don't remember why she said this. I don't remember what she said, but I think it was in a text message between her and someone that she said, I think Leslie is a racist, or I heard that Leslie was a racist or something like that. So you can call people a racist, Katie? Every day around the world, female reporters are threatened and harassed online. By people like you, Katie Joy. By people like you, Katie Joy. You are the person that harasses and threatens female reporters and people that are doing good for themselves. That's you, Katie. You're that person. We are intimidated and threatened to stop reporting, giving up information, and our lives are threatened. Recent threats to destroy my business unless I give up information will be handled legally. Oh, we know it will. We know it will, Katie. You guys aren't seeing that. Hold on. We know it will, Katie. Todd Chrisley already stated that it would be handled legally. He stated that. He said, pay your lawyer so your lawyer can get back with him. The only thing that your lawyer has stated is that you are going to cooperate. You are going to save everything and you're going to cooperate. So to me, it looks like, once again, you will be giving up your information. Todd Chrisley has every intention to handle this legally. Okay, here's another thing. My husband is not a neo-Nazi. My husband and I are not racist. The recent threats feel more like extortion than an actual attempt to settle a dispute. What? How is it extortion? I will comply with court orders, but at this time, defamatory accusations against me and my husband will appear in countersuits, just like when you were going to countersue Tati Westbrook and you were going to countersue Michael Saltz. Wait, hold on. Let's see, what was that? Oh, how can you countersue someone if there's not a suit, Katie? So did you just admit that you know that Todd Chrisley is going to sue you? Did you just admit that you know Todd Chrisley's about to sue you? Because the only way you can countersue someone is if you're being sued. And when Tati Westbrook sued you, you said there'll be a countersuit. You said there's going to be a countersuit against Emily D. Baker. There's going to be a countersuit against Michael Saltz, even though neither one of those people were suing you. You stated that. So I'll believe that when I see it. I want to thank all of y'all. Let me get back where you guys can see it. I want to thank all of y'all for reaching out. Your words of encouragement have kept us going. We know we can't control what people say about us. That has never been our issue. It's people actively interfering and causing harm in our life. That is the problem. Desiree, thank you so much. Do you know how hard it is trying to explain why you are yelling at your phone because a troll went after your favorite YouTube creator? My sis looking at me like I have 2 heads. Desiree, girl, see, Sean's the same way. Some people, I just try not to let it bother me. Like the person that was in here a while ago, you guys, give her 6 months. Give her 6 months. And she will probably be here with us saying, I didn't realize it then. Because I can't even tell you guys how many people have come to me and apologized. I have video clips of KJ saying things about me and people in the chat talking crap as well. And those people have messaged me and said, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm in that video and I thought XYZ. I believed that. And I realize now that, like, she was lying. She was wrong. And I'm so sorry. I've had so many people come to me and apologize. And I don't know if she'll come to me and apologize, but I think give her 6 months and that lady will see the truth. Carla, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you. And thank you, Desiree, once again for your super chats. Let's see. I will not quit my job reporting because of harassment. Female journalists experience high level of harassments online. Oh my gosh. I haven't read this one. The Washington Post covers this topic in March. Violence against women take many forms, and online harassment is one. You have got to be kidding me. Now she's trying to say it's because she's a woman. Now she's saying it's because she's a woman. Jeez Louise. Okay, Katie. Ugh. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, there's the list of people. Oh, here's another thing. Let's see. KJ is apparently privatizing all her videos, Todd Chrisley videos. He said, we've already got copies. Let me make it bigger so you guys can see it. We've already got copies. If she had worked as hard to tell the truth as she is now covering her tracks like a cat covering crap, she wouldn't be in this situation. Now let's see. That's where the husband responded. That's where Todd Paulson responded. And then Todd Chrisley said this. This butt clown is as legit as his non-existent musical career or his fake butt non-journalistic wife. And it's got 105 hearts and 11 retweets. Now, if you're a fan of Katie Joy's, you got to wonder why anytime someone tweets out about the terrible person that Katie Joy is, why it gets so many likes and retweets. But yet Katie gets no interaction on her Twitter. She claimed it's because people scared to. No, girl, it's not because people scared to interact with you. It's because nobody wants to. You're a bully. And when people would interact with you, I mean, how many people just in my chat has tried to interact with Katie only to be blocked over something stupid? Get blocked. Like, hey, my name is Elle Bee. Block. They literally have a hashtag blocked by Katie community because so many people have been blocked by her. Let's see what else we have. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all of those.
Right.
Yeah. I know I'm about to get off, babe. So yeah, tonight I just wanted to get on here and play the clip from Todd Chrisley's podcast where he said, like, I'm going to put her out of business. And I think, Katie, what you need to understand is Todd Chrisley might, sometimes he can get a little sideways. He can come out of his neck at you sometimes. But one thing is Todd Chrisley is a gentleman and he cares about people and he would not go after someone that he did not feel deserved it. And it's because you deserve this, Katie. That's the reason Tati Westbrook has been after you. That's Tati Westbrook. She's one of those people, just meek, mild, great, loves people, and she went after you. It's literally like freaking, I can't think of who I'm trying to think of. How am I forgetting her name? Mother Teresa. It's literally like Mother Teresa is suing you. You know what I'm saying? Because you got these people that they don't want to hurt nobody. Like I was listening to Chrisley Confessions the other day and this lady called in because you guys know that they take calls. She called in and she said, I'm a fan of you guys. I've been watching you guys for so long and you guys have inspired me to get my real estate license. I think the lady had lost her job due to COVID and now she has decided to go to school to get her real estate license. You know what Todd said? He said, listen, if you're listening, I want you to email me at such and such email. We are going to pay for your schooling. We are going to put you through school. We'll pay for everything. Just email me. They do things like that all the time to help people. All the time to help people. This isn't a man that just wants to hurt someone. This isn't a man that just wants to put you out of business because you spoke ill about his family. Wendy Williams speaks ill about his family. Nancy Grace spoke ill about his family. You know what I'm saying? Like, people speak ill about his family from time to time. I mean, everybody was reporting on, this tax fraud situation. I did. Other people did. The only person that really ticked him off was you, Katie. And that's because you went real life and you stated things as facts that were not facts. And I honestly, to listen to Todd talk, it really feels like he is also upset that his daughter got kind of backstabbed by a friend. He said, like, when he was when he was reading the messages that Katie wrote to this other lady about Lindsay, he said, Katie, you are not a friend. I would not want you as a friend. The world would not want you as a friend, and you are not a friend to my daughter. Because I think it bothers him that she treated his daughter that way, even though they are estranged. So that's why, if anybody is here and they like KJ and you guys think she's just being harassed and bullied for no reason, ask yourself, look into it. Go to Reddit, type her in. There's tons of videos to show you guys who Katie Joy is. Make up your mind. No, the thing is if Katie wants to say that I'm trying to talk people into not liking her, no, I'm talking people into getting to know her. Get to know Katie. Go watch some of her older content. Go see what she said and done. And then decide if you want to support her. Another thing too is, like, people come to my channel and leaving me those mean comments and those negative comments. My thing is, like, okay, so you want to call me a bully, but now here you are bullying me, somebody you don't even know. Make that make sense. You're on my channel calling me a Karen, calling me a bully, when you're now bullying me and you don't even know who I am or what I've done. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it because she's going to flip on Lindsay. She's going to keep everything that Lindsay's ever told her. This is what I think as well. I don't think Lindsay really fed her information. I think Lindsay talked to her like a friend and said, I think this happened. I think maybe they did do this. I think, I didn't feel close to Julie. I didn't do this. And I think Katie done her just like she done me. I think she jumped on YouTube and she spoke about those things without Lindsay's permission. I really think she did. I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Sean's got to do schoolwork. Tomorrow is going to be such a busy day. I have several videos. I think I recorded like 4 or 5 today. I have one that's uploaded that I'm going to make. I'm going to unlist it when we get off. If you guys want to check it out, it's about it's about Lauren and Javi. If you guys want to check it out after we get off. And then I have a few more that I got to edit and upload. That'll be between tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow, I got to take one of my boys to get a haircut. We done some haircuts today. The last one gets a haircut tomorrow. And then we have to go get the rest of our school supplies. And then my 2 kids, Bobby and Dakota, they have open house tomorrow. We had open house today, Fresh Fest today for Paris and Caden. Tomorrow we have Bobby and Dakota. And then on the 9th, we have Eli. So it's school stuff. I'm going to be super busy, but I have so many videos that I'm working on to put out to you guys. Make sure you guys watch them if they interest you. If they don't, click on them, give it a thumbs up, wait 30 seconds, exit out of it, because that alone helps. Let it play through if you ain't got nothing to do, but just clicking on and giving it a thumbs up, that always helps. And thank you all for hanging out with me. Michelle Davis, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you guys. I got 4 new members tonight in tonight's live stream. Thank you guys so much. I got some super chats. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to everyone that was in here. To the few that came in that were just kind of being a little whatever. Just learn. Just go figure out. Go watch. Go listen. Look her up. And then tell me how you feel about her. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see.